Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It is time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Virgo. That's Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, and Virgo Rising for the month of August. And just a couple of things that I have on my altar here. I have my picture of Virgo that I did back in 2022. And I have these bunnies here full with the baskets full of harvested things. We have this little guy here who's not really being helpful to his folks, but he's being cute. And you know, sometimes being cute is important. I have my Irish Spring candle, and I have my moss agate heart here, which is one of my favorite earthy sort of energy stones. And I am wearing my little bee earrings, which are symbolic of harvest and community working together, which is very much a Virgo thing. And around my neck, I have a piece of charoite. Charoite is a crystal stone that's connected to service that you're here to do. And that's really very much a Virgo energy, right? Service to others. So what's going on with Virgo? We're going to look at the astrology first. Then we're going to do a oracle pull using the Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. And then we're going to wrap it up with a tarot reading from the Druid Craft Oracle. So let me pull up the astrology. I have it written down here in my little book. Isn't that pretty? Thank you, Letitia. I don't think Letitia's a Virgo, so she may not see this, but thank you all the same. Maybe I'll write her a note and say, watch Virgo. All right, so, well, August is a Virgo month, is it not? The sun moves into Virgo on the 23rd. While the sun is in Leo, of course, the sun loves being in Leo, but for Virgo, it's a kind of an introspective time, as Leo is your 12th house. And so you might find yourself being quite introspective at the beginning of the month. And then as the sun moves into your sign, you put yourself out there. And of course, that's towards the end of the month. And that's when we get busy, right? That's when we get busy. Harvesting what has grown over the summer months. Of course, the 2nd of August, sorry about that, is Lammas. It is one of the cross-quarter days for the pagan calendar, and it is the celebration of the first harvesting of the wheat. I imagine it would be the spring wheat, not summer wheat, but it is, and it is sacred to the goddess Lugh, which is the god of the sun. Did I say goddess? I meant God, Lugh, the son of. It's also called Lunaxad, Ludwigsad, or something like that. My Gaelic is not really open, but anyway. So we have this energy of harvest. And we also have Mercury this month in Virgo, as do we have Mars. Mars spends a lot of time in Virgo this month, most of the month. In fact, it doesn't move into the next sign until the last week of August. And so for you, Virgo, Mars is in your first house. So you're putting yourself, you are being yourself. You are expressing yourself. We do have a number of trines to Mars in Virgo, one to Uranus, one to Pluto, one to Jupiter, and that activates your fire houses, Virgo. And so it's about creativity, self-expression, being you. We also have 2 full moons this month and a new moon. The last full moon, which I don't usually start with the last one, but the last one is the sun in Virgo and the moon in Pisces. So by the end of the month, we have a realization around our relationships to others. The new moon, the first full moon happens on the 1st of the month. The 1st of the month is a very active day. In fact, all the stuff happens on the 1st, and we have the rest of the week to sort of, what was that about? Of course, the first thing we have is the full moon in Leo I'm sorry, in Aquarius with the sun in Leo. This is your 12th, 6th house axis, which is your house of health and healing. And so you have a realization at the beginning of the month that what needs to be healed, what needs to be dealt with. And of course, Virgo is a very health-oriented sign. Sometimes I say Virgo doesn't come in with the book that tells you what's healthy and what's not, but they end up writing the book through experience, their own personal experience. So Virgos very often will have problems with health and well-being, not because they've done anything wrong and this is their time to be sick, but so that they can learn how to navigate that and help others through it. So, you know, sometimes you got to walk in people's moccasins before you understand that. We do have an opposition between Mercury, which is in Virgo, opposing Saturn in Pisces. Again, this is your axis of self and others. Virgo spends the month in, Mercury, your ruling planet, spends the month in your sign. But on the 23rd, when the sun moves into your sign, Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo. And so all the retrogrades this year have been in earth signs. First one was in Capricorn, the second one was in Taurus, and this last one is in Virgo. This is about rethinking, reorganizing. This is a great time to do some health, looking at your diet, your lifestyle, and how that can be helped. That's true for everybody, but especially for you, Virgo, because it's all happening in that first house of your physical body and how you put yourself out there in the world. The second week of August, we have, sorry, I don't have the right day. I don't have it open to the right day here. Second week of August, we actually have a lovely trine between Mercury and Virgo, first house, and Jupiter and Taurus. That is your 9th house. You'll have an opportunity to share what you know, share your experiences, share your knowledge. On the same day, we have a square between Jupiter and the sun. That can bring some arrogance out, but Virgo is not really an arrogant sign. So it's not really something that, like, Leo might have to worry about a little bit more than you, because they tend to be like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Then Virgo comes along and says, well, when you slice the bread too quickly, it gets stale faster and blah, 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 blah. So, like, Leos think they do know it all, but Virgos figure it out. Okay. Excuse me. Jeez, Marian, Giuseppe. On the third week, we have a conjunction between the sun and Venus. Venus happens to be retrograde in Leo. That is your 12th house. So Venus actually likes being in the 12th house. She's exalted in Pisces, so it feels really good for Venus to be in the 12th house. But Venus is also our values, and the 12th house can be our self-undoing. So there's an evaluation for all Virgos. Are they undoing their own sense of self by being maybe a martyr, or doing too much work, or not being appreciated for their work? I have one of my favorite sayings about Virgo is that the squeaky wheel gets the grease and Virgo brings its own oil can. So sometimes you're just too efficient for your own damn good. So don't allow people to take advantage of you, but don't allow yourself to let them take advantage of you by being all things to everyone and forgetting about yourself. Okay. We also have a square between the sun and Uranus, so things can be sudden changes for that third week. And then we have a new moon in Leo. So it's a new relationship to that 12th house, to spirit. Perhaps it is time to do some sort of, this happens on the 16th, do a rite, right? Do some magic to connect to your guides, because the 12th house is where they all sit. And maybe you need a new conversation. Maybe the help that you need is not of this world. And so you need to make that connection and be willing to believe, because Virgo likes facts. Virgo is very pragmatic. Sometimes they forget to like ask for help from spirit. And so spirit is there waiting for you to ask, and spirit will certainly give you what you need, most likely. So that would be a good time to do some sort of, and also maybe sit in meditation, give yourself a break, sit by the seashore, do something, take the day off, and commune with spirit on that 16th. I believe it's the 16th, right? Yes. All right. On the 4th week, adjustments need to be made. But you know what, Virgo, that's your thing. Your thing is all about making adjustments. And so this is not as much of an issue for you as it is for other people. I would say to you that ask spirit to help you make the right decisions so that you can be even a better Virgo than you already are. Hard to believe that's even possible, but it's possible. On the 22nd, we have an opposition between Mars, of course, in Virgo, and Neptune. Mars and Neptune, when they get together, it's not easy to discern or to determine what direction to take. Oppositions are points of awareness. You don't have to do anything, but you have to be aware of something. And it's this awareness between the practical and the spiritual, So allow yourself that time. Again, this is all sort of in the same time frame. So maybe if you want to take a vacation, Virgo, the 4th week, the 3rd, 4th week of August is a good time to take a little break from your toil. On the 23rd, the sun moves into your sign and Mercury goes retrograde. So we're reevaluating things. We also have a trine between Mars and Pluto in Capricorn, Mars in your sign of Virgo. This is an opportunity for you to express what you know and to share what you know. You have a lot of information that can be very helpful to people. And sometimes you're too shy to just get out there and let people know. But if you let people know, in a way, they'll have more respect for you, that you would like get out there and do it. Like, wow, that's not like them. They usually just fix the problem. They don't usually tell you how they do it. Start telling people how they do it so they can do it for themselves and you can free up some time. In the 5th week, the last week of August, Mars moves into Libra. So it's moving into your 2nd house of values, 2nd house of money, 2nd house of what's important to you. So this, you may find that you're working harder and making more money at that time. And then lastly, at the end of the month, we have that full moon in Pisces, again, bringing your attention to yourself, the sun in Virgo, and your relationship to others, the moon in Pisces. And how's that going? Are people taking advantage of you? Are you letting people take advantage of you? Or are things just working just fine because you've learned the lesson of being helpful, but not too helpful? Okay, that's what I want to say about the astrology. So I have been using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Oops, sorry. Again, I shouldn't do that. Shouldn't move around too much. By Colette Baron Reed, to pick a oracle card. I've been using it for all the signs. I like doing that. That way, if you check your ascendant, you check your moon, you check your sun, you can see if the same card comes up. Now there are quite a few cards in this deck. It's a big deck, but it's one of the best spirit animal oracle decks that I've seen. I mean, there are the original ones like the medicine cards, and Ted Williams, Ted Andrews' work. God rest his soul, Ted Andrews. Animal Speak, and I have a number of animal oracles, but I have to say this is probably my favorite, most recent one that's come out. Plus the artwork is fabulous, and she does such a great job with the information. Really, really, really good job. Okay, let's see. What are we picking? Elephants. Effalants. That's how Michael used to say elephant when he was little. Effalants. What did he used to say? Lions, yepids, and effalants. Yeah, so the elephant is connected to Ganesh in the Hindu pantheon, and Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. Elephants also have great memories, right? They're matriarchal. Elephants are matriarchal. They grieve. They move in family units. They're very social. Let's see what elephant says here. Elephant. It's right here. Oops, no. I don't know how to spell elephant, do I? Here we go. Learn from the past. Although we often wish we could leave the past behind us, Elephant Spirit reminds us that memory matters. We must respect the wisdom of the elders who hand down to us traditions that have shaped to express our connection to each other and respect for the community. What has come before informs what we are experiencing today, and we must never forget our legacy of strength and dignity. Elephant Spirit appears with a message that we are to acknowledge that which came before and learn from it. All of us are memory-based creatures, and we must revisit the past to understand where we are and where we are going. The stories of events that you experienced, the stories in our collective memory, and the stories of relationships you have had can be told many ways. Can be told many ways. What story will you tell? There is that astrology that says to tell us what you know, what you have learned. Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to make it one that stirs in your sense of power and dignity, for you have honored yourself by choosing to learn from your past. Spirit rejoices at your willingness to learn and grow. Learn and grow. Well, that's really what Virgo is all about, isn't it? Learning and growing, and reaping what we've learned and grown. All right, cool. Now let's take a look at the tarot. We're using the Druid Craft deck. Beautiful deck, rather large deck, so difficult to shuffle, but I get the hang of it. Plus, they don't really, some decks are so slippery that when you go to shuffle them, they fly across the room. This one is a hardy deck that does not do that. So you really have to work it. The Druids don't give you nothing unless you work for it. So there you Virgo, right? Perfect deck for Virgo. Sacredness of nature. The healing properties that we find within nature. Virgo is the herbalist, right? The homeopath, the chiropractor, the one who uses natural methods, the naturopath. All of that is very Virgo. And for those of us born in the 60s who have Pluto in Virgo, who have had lifetimes of being healers, and very often not been treated well because of our knowledge, it's okay. We can share our knowledge in this lifetime. People are waiting for our knowledge. We start with the King of Pentacles. Wonderful card to start with. This is somebody who knows their stuff. Entrepreneurial, understands what it takes. This indicates that you might want to start doing something where you can benefit from your knowledge financially. Maybe teach. What do you know? Teach a class. You know, the whole education system, because of the way the debt debt is, and if you want to learn something, and you know, all of that. It's all these like hoops that you have to jump through, but everybody has so much knowledge and people want to know. And there's a democratization of knowledge. And so you can share what you know. You just have to figure out how to get paid for it. Let's see what crosses that. Justice, balancing the scales, being fair to yourself, making the decision to be fair to yourself, giving yourself your due, which Virgo sometimes doesn't do. Underneath it all, we have the Lord. This is the Emperor card. This is telling you that you have dominion over your life. You are in charge of you. That's what that says. So you're standing on your power, really. In the past, we have Chronos. Chronos is this is the devil card in this deck, but it's not really the greed and avarice sort of card, but this is a deep understanding of the power within nature, the procreative power within nature, something you understand, something you can stand upon. In the sky, we have the Two of Cups. If you're not in a relationship, there is possibility for relationship, but the relationship needs to be a relationship of equals. This is a Libra relationship. Nobody is higher than the other. They're the same height. Do they both have cups? They both have cups. They have their own cups to drink from, but they choose to share with others. This is a very lovely card. So there could be some love coming in your life. We have the Hanged Man as the card for the month. The Hanged Man simply is a card in which you have to discern what you have power over and what you don't. And what you don't, you just have to let go. And what you do, you have to apply yourself. And then, of course, the wisdom to know the difference. How it's seen from the outside, that you're a very hard worker and that you're extraordinarily good at what you do. It's simple as that. Your domestic situation, the Queen of Swords making a decision. You're making a decision here. You've thought about it. It's time to make that decision, whatever that means in your domestic situation. Your hopes and fears, the Star, hoping for hope, hope upon hope, not a fear, that you will find your guiding star. Now, that card is associated with meditation, and there's a lot of time and there's a lot of energy in that 12th house around those issues. So do your meditations and the answers will come to you. And then at the outcome, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is about keeping safe your resources, right? This guy, is he locking or is he unlocking? What is he doing? So maybe you have to lock up some of your resources to protect them, or maybe you have to unlock them so that they can make you more resources. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. We have the Five of Cups, which is sorrow. The Ace of Wands, well, that's nice to have after sorrow because it means that you've gotten over it and you're moving forward in a creative way. And the High Priestess, yes. Oh. This is a card associated with the moon. It's direct connection to spirit. So again, there's this connection to spirit. So if you're feeling a little sea, all the answers lie within, and you're in your connection to spirit. So don't forget that you have a friend in spirit. Underneath it, the Three of Cups. Have some fun with your friends, please. The Three of Wands. This is like commodification of your knowledge. This is new opportunities coming your way. Yes. And the sun shining your light. This is regeneration, rebirth, illumination. Show people who you are. But first, ask for help from spirit, because you are shining bright there, Virgo. You are shining bright. All right. Well, it was quite the optimistic reading. I like that. Actually, the earth signs have all had pretty optimistic readings. So that's good. It's nice, right? All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you would. If you like my work, you can support me by becoming a patron on Patreon. There's a link below. I also do readings, astrology, Kabbalah readings for people And if you would like one of those, I know that my first one changed my life and put me on my path. And I know that it's helped a lot of people. So if that's something, if you want to know the soul's path, if you want to know your energy on the tree of life, if you want to know your astrology, maybe you know astrology and you don't know about Kabbalah and the tree of life. This would be a perfect reading for you. There's a link below if you're interested in a reading. I do hour-long and hour-and-a-half-long readings. If it's your first time, I prefer to do the hour and a half because it gives us plenty of time to go over the charts. But if you don't have the time, we could always do an hour. You'll always get something worth knowing from those. All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful month, and I know you will. Excuse me a second. Motorcycles passing in front of my house, as they always do on Sundays in the summer. Okay, now I can hear myself think. Take care. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Namaste.